Hey guys, here we are, week 6 of ESS Excel on the boat, a journey of becoming. Man, we've had a great 6 weeks, and just want to thank everybody for engaging in this and walking through this, just as a group of co-workers. And I believe that it's been impactful and hopefully it's been meaningful to you in your walk with the Lord and your relationship with those around you. A journey of becoming, I like that. None of us are yet all that we are going to be. And there are times that maybe we feel like we're less than now than we were back then, or we can't be what we aspire to be in the future because of something going on right now. But this concept, this thought gives me hope that I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. And it's a journey of becoming all that God has called us to be. And there's places in our journey where it could be an initial call, it could be having to drop nets, mend nets, examine our strategies, make sacrifices. It could be things in our home life and connected to our family. It could be those questions that are deeply personal, where God awakens our heart. And then it could be through the storms and the stumbles. But I think through the journey, if we understood this key that we're going to talk about today, then through the midst of it all, then we have something to link our heart to keep moving forward. We want to talk about today is finish following. And we're going to look at this passage in John chapter 21, verses 15 through 19. There's going to be our focal point, but I want to give a little bit of context here. We're aware of some of the things that Simon Peter has experienced, but the most recent things that he's experienced is he's personally denied Jesus 3 times. He's seen Jesus be crucified, and he's been burdened deeply by his denial of Jesus. And he's also came to the empty tomb where he saw that Jesus was still not there, and a resurrected Jesus. And now where we find him here in John chapter 21 is he's been out fishing in the night and hasn't caught anything. Jesus is on the shore and tells him to cast on the other side, and he has this huge catch. Peter then puts his clothes on and jumps in the sea and then goes to shore. And Jesus already has some fish on the fire ready to cook breakfast. And then we find this conversation here where after they had finished breakfast, the Bible says that Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" And such an interesting conversation here after what Peter has been through. He's had his own storms, he's had his own stumbles. Now he's denied Jesus and done the very thing that he said he would never do. I know there's things that I said I would never do in life that I ended up doing. And here comes Jesus and he's asking him, "Do you love me?" And Peter says, "Yes, Lord, you know I love you." And so Jesus says, "Well, tend my lambs." And then again, Jesus says, "Peter, do you love me?" And he says, "Yes, Lord, I love you." And Jesus says, "Well, shepherd my sheep." And then he's asked him again, a third time, "Peter, do you love me?" And by this time, Peter's a little frustrated. He says, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." And Jesus says, "Tend my sheep." And then a little conversation, he says, "You were young and you used to go wherever you wanted to go, but soon you'll be old and someone will lead you to where you don't want to go." And he was speaking of the death that Peter would die. And then he closes it with this. He says, "Follow me." I love this. That's what I want to focus on, is that thought of follow me. The thing, when we get, this is one of the final exchanges that Jesus has with Peter, that Peter has with Jesus before Jesus ascends, and before Peter, just some days later, several weeks later, gets up and preaches a powerful message in the book of Acts. Before he does that, and God uses him in a mighty way, this point in the journey where Jesus reminds him that no matter how much you think you've done, no matter how much you know, no matter how much you've experienced with me, no matter how many failures, that I want to remind you what this is all about. This is about following me. It's the same invitation that I gave you at the beginning. And I love this because it to me, it brings this question, or it brings this thought that every disciple will have opportunity to stop following Jesus. You and I, we can probably share our own stories, be it something that happened, an experience in a church. It could be something in our family that we believe God for, that it didn't happen the way that we desired it and we prayed it to happen. Storm in our life that just was wrecked, that has wrecked our life, or disappointment that we faced, a mistake or failure that we've made that maybe we feel like can't be redeemed or can't turn around, where we can't be restored and make it right. And we've all got those experiences that make us want to lose heart and stop following Jesus. But the invitation is still there. Follow me. We can still become what we could not become on our own if we keep our focus on following Jesus. I like this thought as well, because it proves to me that every disciple needed Jesus to go to the cross the same. It's not always the way we related to him before the cross as much as it is we relate to him after the cross, and knowing that Jesus wants a relationship with us after he's finished the work of forgiveness and redemption. He wants that relationship of us following him on the journey as we become who he's called us to be. So I want to encourage us in our spiritual walk that this points to that in spite of ourselves, if we will still have the courage to follow him, it lets us know Jesus will never quit on us. Peter might have been out fishing. Shoot, we go out fishing, or we go out, we might go to a sport event. We might, it might be racing. It could be hunting. So many things that we do to occupy our mind to keep us from having to engage sometimes with things that are important, like our relationship with the Lord. And I'm not saying those things are bad and we should do them as much as we want to. But Peter was out fishing, and Jesus had his eye on him and was on the shore, already had the fish on the fire. And he helped Peter get a big catch. He let him get a big catch. And then they had a conversation. And Jesus reminded Peter of the love that was in Peter's heart for Jesus and said, hey, keep following me. There's a love in our heart that is meant just for Jesus. And I hope these conversations help you find that and give you the courage to get up from wherever you are, in spite of whatever's happened in your life, and to keep going after Jesus. One of the things I love about this is Jesus uses something that Peter loves to show him that he is loved. That speaks of the value of connection. When we know the things that the people around us are interested in, we can show how much we love them by caring about something that they love. And Jesus does that here. Peter loves fishing, and he helps Peter get a big catch, has fish already on the fire for him to eat some breakfast. And he uses that thing that Peter loves to show Peter just how much he's loved. And that before Jesus ascends to go back to his place in heaven beside the Father, that he wants to make sure that Peter's good to stay on the journey. And I think that he wants us to sense that love that he has for us. He embraces us right where we are, even in those moments where we might be in between, have an opportunity to stop following, might be discouraged by something in our life. We're not all at the same place at the same time, but he knows how to come to us and wake our heart up. Let's be those people in our connections and relationships to look for the opportunities to show people that they are loved by taking a greater interest in them. And then, hey, look, I love this last thought of what Jesus does. It's an area of respect that he has to care enough about where Peter is in the journey to point the way forward. You know, he's not looking at a way to say, I told you so. I think people of respect and people who respect others are always looking for a way to help people move forward, to fuel them forward. And so he had fish on the fire to put fuel in Peter's heart for him to go forward, not look back and say, Peter, I told you were going to deny me 3 times. Blake, I told you where you were going to screw that up. I knew you couldn't do it on your own. However, whatever that is for you, to know that Jesus was there in Peter's life to fuel him to move forward and to say, follow me. And then Peter went on and did great things in his service to God, in his relationship with God, and saw many great things that God did for him personally and that God did through him. And we could be those same types of people who respect others, who even command respect from others, because we're always looking for a way to fuel them forward, not beat them up over the head with a hammer for something that happened in the past, but being able to take the opportunities of the moments that we walk through, even our storms and our stumbles, even those disappointing moments, even the moments of our personal failure, and to be able to learn from those, draw the lessons from it, and fuel us to move forward in our faith, in our relationship with Jesus. I love that he will never quit on us, and we should learn to never quit on him, never quit on ourselves, and never quit on those around us. Hey, we've got a lot of journey in our life. This is just 6 weeks where we get to talk about it, a little bit of it together. But this should be something that should encourage us to share more of our journey with one another and to keep following Jesus with all of our heart, wherever we are on the journey. And look, if there's a way that I can help you in that, then I'm here, and I'd love to be able to be an encouragement, be a resource for that for you in your personal walk. And man, we've got many things that God wants to do in our lives and in our families. So let's keep following him. Any opportunity that comes to stop following him, brush it to the side, and let's keep on excelling on our journey of becoming. Hey, I love you guys, and look forward to closing this out with our conversation on Friday, and then a big fish fry coming up soon.